What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. If you enjoy the Scale News Update, hit the like button. Let's jump into this week's topics. First this week, we've talked about the WPL D12 quite a bit in the past, but this last week they posted up on their social media that a 1/16th version of that awkward little truck is becoming available, but it's not being offered for sale on their website. It's being offered on another Asian RC website, which is a little bit odd. It says that it was designed still by like one of the designers from WPL. It's just weird that it's not being marketed as a WPL product. But regardless, if you're such a big fan of those little D12s that you want an even littler one, 1/16 scale, no price has been listed yet. They say it's going to be cheap, and the 1/10 scale one's already only $60. So who knows? Next, another topic about price hikes. This week, it came from Horizon. Now, on the back end of the Horizon website, they had posted an announcement to dealers updating them on the new prices that were going to be implemented. And I believe at this point, all of those have been implemented now. There was over 12,000 items listed in their updated pricing. And on average, it was almost 15% across the board on those products. Some were a smaller percentage, but usually those were on much higher dollar items. So it was 5 or 6 or 7%, but that could end up being almost $300 on some of those products. But then on the lower end of the scale, the $1, $2, up to $5 items, those saw increases as well of maybe $1 or so, but that's a big percentage. It wasn't just a set percentage on all, it varied specifically to the product. But regardless, it's a subject that we've been talking about for months now. We've seen these trends coming and they're going to continue to come. And at the same time, consumers should know where some of these costs are coming. They're not just businesses jacking up prices to try and profit more. It's having to adjust products based on outside factors that aren't controllable. A lot of these products are coming to the United States via containers, and containers on a container ship went from $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 for a container to now $20,000. So the price of shipping goods alone has really increased, and it's a significant part of why you're seeing these costs increase. And these shipping prices aren't anticipated to go down anytime soon. And then material prices have gone through the roof on many materials, some even just not being available at times. And then there's the topic of inflation. And of course, there could be manufacturers that are raising the costs just to try and capitalize on demand. But with the larger companies and the scale of what they're doing, that's not the main contributing factor. And again, just because prices went up once before doesn't mean it can't happen again in the future. So if there's something you've been wanting, maybe worth just picking it up as soon as possible, because you also don't know if more are going to become available even by the end of the year. Next, Cross RC has released more information on the JT4. This is that forward control Jeep style body that they're putting on top of one of the platforms that they've previously ran. Has locking and unlocking differentials, portals, number of things like that. Underneath, still likely going to be very Cross RC like. So take that into consideration when you take a look at this new body. On the platform that they're putting this new JT4 forward control style body, all of those seem to be Lexans. So at this point, I don't expect to see this body made as a hard body like they make some of their other ones, but this is going to be available in both RTR and kit form, just like you see many of their models. The final product page with the final sales information hasn't popped up yet, but once we hear more about availability and pricing, we'll cover it here on the news as well. Next, for you Element Gatekeeper owners, they've released a new nose piece for the Gatekeeper cage. The Gatekeeper cage had a pretty weak design on the front hinge portion. This also includes the kind of windshield area of the cage. I'm guessing that those parts were just on the same mold. Now the new nose kit does come with both sides of the hinge mechanism. One is kind of the bumper insert, one is the actual nose piece. The description of these new parts says that it's made for better impact resistance and thermal stability. Not sure what they're trying to get at with the thermal stability part of that. They've listed these for sale. Not sure when you're going to see these incorporated into kits or what their plan is for that, but it's something to note at least. Next time you break yours, pick up the updated one instead. Next, new from Traxxas is the TRX4 with the all black blazer body. I think you could only get this previously as an aftermarket part. I don't think you could buy it this way. Previously, the two RTR combos that were being offered were the orange and white and then the red and black combos. So now you can get this. It also comes with new wheels, same Canyon tires that we've seen on almost all of the TRX4 releases, but with a new kind of all chrome 8-hole style. Also note that these TRX4 Blazers are going up to 520 from their previous just sub 500 level. So little increase being seen on the TRX4s as well. And speaking of Traxxas, I noticed that they filed for a new copyright with the name Sledge. They previously had a copyright on Sledgehammer way back, but Sledge was just recently filed. So I imagine we're going to see some sort of new vehicle with that name. I know when I think of Sledge, I think of Sledgehammer, and breaking rocks could be something like that. Maybe it's a rock bouncer, or maybe it's another basher. But keep our fingers crossed. Maybe we'll see another platform entering the rock market. And for you in the no prep scene, the Sky RC RSTW tire warmer system is available now. This is set up for just 2 tires, so it's perfect for no prep racers. These commonly used at the big races for guys that don't want to do as long of a burnout, kind of keeps a little bit more heat in the whole combo. Heard a lot of people with a lot of opinions on them, but that RSTW is available now. Try and give your no prep race program a just little step up in the cool department. And then this week, RC Foil Drive listed a new model available on their site. This is the 1/14th scale R350 skid steer. RC heavy equipment is always interesting. These little skid loaders always look like fun. Now this one does go for $2,200 RTR. It's truly hydraulic functioning and the whole deal, but it's still a lot. It says it has a lifting capacity of around 7 pounds, so not too bad for a miniature skid steer. It also listed that its total weight was only around 7 pounds as well, which kind of surprised me. It seemed like this little all metal skid steer would weigh more than that. It has a full scale interior and everything. If you too would also like to just at least look at more photos of this, I'll link to where you can find details on this item in the description below, as well as links to the rest of today's stories. And lastly, we've got a new RC tricycle being released. This is made by Dinky RC, and it's specifically a drift trike, 1/6 scale drift trike. It looks to be mainly 3D printed, but it's got a simple straight axle style rear end, and it's got a little bit of suspension kind of in the front neck area, not on the forks itself, but kind of the whole front neck. As the name states, this is definitely something that belongs around the drift track. So if you've been looking for something new to drift around with, these are currently listed at $245 for the pre-order. You will have to place an order and then wait for it to be completed, as they are coming kind of ARTR. So check out the link in the description below if you'd like more information. But that's gonna do it for this week's news stories. For this week's question, when was the last time you actually got out and got some just good quality runtime with your RCs? I know a lot of people working on them is the time they spend. Driving it, very small amount. When was the last time you actually got out, had some fun with them? Or maybe it was a bad day and just didn't turn out that well. Whenever it was, post it in the comments below. With that, thanks for watching the Scale News Update every Tuesday. Appreciate you guys watching every week. If you enjoyed the Scale News Update, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. As always, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.